Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is T, and you're listening to TokYo-Yo Talk. And today I'm joined by I'm very excited to be joined by my guest today, who is Carl. What's up, man?
Hi.
So some of you guys who are listening might know him by his screen name on YouTube, which is Caralisc, right?
Yep.
Or on Instagram as well. You're quite
Yeah.
active.
Yep.
Cool. Well, if anyone shamefully doesn't know who you are, who might listen to my show but maybe hasn't seen your show yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, for the most part, I make yo-yo videos. I like to I feel like my type of yo-yo videos are kind of in a different style. I love putting on a bunch of stuff to my videos. I like making videos kind of funny in a way. I like having my reviews like being consistent, short, but like well done. It's kind of my style.
Mm. Yeah, I think your videos have a really different flavor to them, don't they?
Yeah.
What
I
made?
really I re-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
Oh. Yeah, it's just something I've been doing. I've actually been making videos since I think 2013, cuz my very first video is actually like from my mom's phone. It's of a horse that was doing like some scent marking on a car,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like the birth of it. But like the first yo-yo video I made, you can tell how much I've grown up because I look like I'm like 9 years old in that video, but I was actually 13. But it was with the Yo-Yo Factory Avant-Garde 2, and you can see as well as like how I've grown up. My style's grown up too. I've gotten much better. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I have.
Hmm. So, what made you kind of like you kind of mentioned like the horse video? I've actually seen that
Mhm.
one, and other videos that you said sometimes have the yo-yo focus, but sometimes
Mhm.
not. What kind of made you go with that style?
Um, it's just kind of different in my mind. I just like being different in the community. I'm not like, cause like when it comes to recording actual just like yo-yo videos, like to me sometimes if I just make a video with me yo-yoing, I'm not like a professional. I'm not amazing yo-yo. I'm pretty good, I guess, but I would never consider myself like insanely good. So I just like putting commentary over it so it just stays entertaining. Because if it's not if I feel like if I'm not like really good at the yo-yoing, then it's just gonna sound or just look not as it'll just not be as entertaining.
Mm. So you feel like it needs something else to go with it?
Yeah.
Mm. All right. Um, why did you start the channel? Was it something that you always wanted to do? You said you kind of worked with video before, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I've really like since I've been watching YouTube since like 2011. Not just I've been yo-yoing since 2010, since the 4th grade, which is what all my friends in high school say. They cuz they always like I'm pretty sure most people know about Ned, right? Ned came to a bunch of schools around the nation,
Mm.
including my elementary school, but I was pretty much one of the only people that actually stuck with it. Everybody else remembered. They were like, "Oh, I remember. I yo-yoed in 4th grade a little bit,"
Mm.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I yo-yoed in 4th grade, and I've been doing that since."
Mm.
And I think I got off topic too. Oh yeah, why did I start a YouTube channel? I didn't. I actually have a deleted. Well, it's not deleted, but actually, yeah, it is. It's an old. I didn't. This is not my first YouTube channel.
Mm.
I had an old one that was even older than that from like 2012. I don't want to bring it back because it's like the cringiest stuff you'll ever hear. It's like they're not yo-yo videos. I think they're me trying to attempt to be like a mainstream YouTuber. I think I did a vlog once like where I showed all my pets and then like did these like weird jump cuts, like
Mm.
all with like an iPad and iMovie,
Mm.
and it was not the best thing in the world because it's just like I was not good at filming or doing anything like that. And also, the channel actually got deleted because of me and my dad's concern, because I accidentally put on a bunch of personal information on the channel, which if like at the time I didn't want it to get deleted, but then like looking back at it now, that it was kind of a good thing to do, because if it kept up there, I don't know what would have happened. Yeah, but after that, I guess was kind of like a backup channel. I just created this, and this is what's taken off, and that's what I'm feel like I'm gonna stick with.
Cool. One thing I wanted to ask about, you've had them on your channel a couple times, and you mentioned the original vlog with the pets.
Oh yes.
I love the pet videos.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of pets? You have the guinea pigs and what else you got?
Yeah. My sister took, well, I don't know if I consider these pets, but these are like, I go from like lowest to highest of like the family ranking of pets, I guess. But like my sister she's in college, and she's studying to be an entomologist, which is the study of insects. So she has like a bunch of like, I guess, specimen, but they're like not like those weird preserved in a jar type things. They're actually real life bugs. She has quite a bit of those. She took to school. She has a gecko, which she takes care of in college. But up on that are pretty much my pets. I have 2 guinea pigs. One of them's name is Chip. I got him in like 2012, I think. He's almost 6 now. He's pretty old. Other one is Reese's, who's like 3 years old. And I also this is actually pretty new. This summer, I got a chinchilla, and that's probably one of the best pets I've ever had. They're like dogs. They're affectionate like dogs. They're like mobile and crazy like cats, and they're the world's softest animal. Like the Guinness World Record certifies them at the softest animal in the world. And we also have 2 cats, which are not my pets, but they're still our pets, so they're still fun to have around. One of them is actually my age. He's 16, and the other one I think is like 6. But the 16-year-old one, it's my favorite, obviously, because I literally grew up with him. Because like the same time I was born, my family actually found the cat outside and brought him in. And my sister named him. His name is P, as in the letter P. I don't understand why, but it is. Yeah, that's pretty much my pets. So
awesome. Yeah, I really like those videos because your care for them really shows. You know that. Yeah. It's really fun to watch, actually, and especially with the channel, which is more yo-yo related usually. Yeah. When I saw that pop up, I was like, what? I have to see this.
Yeah. It's just a really rewarding experience with pets. It's just like having someone there when no one else is around.
And so for people listening too, like what we're talking about now, in case you haven't ever gotten to see Carl's videos, is there are a lot of yo-yo videos, but they do have a very different tone to them. And then there's other things mixed in, like we mentioned with the pet video. So you should go give it a look. It's quite an interesting channel. So talking more about the channel as well. I've noticed that you talk a lot about OneDrop. Is that your favorite company, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. I just really like how OneDrop, they're the yo-yo company I've interacted with the most, because my uncle actually lives in Eugene, where they're based on. And he he got my first OneDrop yo-yo. He got the Markmont Classic, like 2014. I think that's when it came out. But he visited, and I thought it was like so cool that he actually visited like the source of a yo-yo company, and like got a bunch of things for me. And so that's like, because I also I really enjoy their designs and stuff too. They're very, very unique. Like since then, I've been just collecting as many as I can and interacting with Paul Dang, all the people at OneDrop. Obviously Paul Dang isn't at OneDrop anymore. He's still on the team, but he moved to Portland. But I still every once in a while I'll email Sean. I think that's his first name. I don't remember. But yeah, I'll email him about something I did. Like I'll show him a video I made, and I'll like tweet him and stuff. And I also I visited them once in Thanksgiving, I think 2015, which is where like I got my like the stakes of like my new like branches for my new yo-yoing era, I consider, because that like then I got the Format C, the Summit, and the Cascade. and I thought it was super awesome too, because that was when I was hanging out with Paul Dang. I actually did. It's on my channel. An interview with Paul Dang. It's kind of an old video that I recorded, but it took me like a year to edit it. But it's up there, and it's pretty good, I consider, but it's not with any good equipment. But yeah, they're just my favorite company, not just because they're yo-yos. It's just a community they have is just really nice, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, they're quite, community facing and player facing without being too they're close to the community without being above it, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. So one thing you've mentioned in a couple of your videos is you do attend competitions. Is that something you enjoy doing? You plan on doing a lot more of in the future?
Totally, yes. That's probably my favorite part of yo-yoing is going to competitions. I do try and compete in them. I think one of the main reasons I don't do too well though is because I just get kind of like anxiety on stage. It's that thing where like you can hit every single trick when you're off stage, but once you get on stage, you miss like every move. I did make finals at Cal State's this year in I think it was April. Yeah. But it's not just competing. I actually almost think I have more fun when I don't compete because I'm not worrying about competing. Because my favorite contest I ever went to, I have to say, was Nationals in 2014. Because there I met that's where I met like all the famous yo-yoers I know now. Where I got involved with the community like so much. Then I think I even made a friend that we still like I contact once in a while. And I also it was just a really good experience. Also with the contests, they're just amazing to go to. Not like the people there are usually very nice and supportive, and you get good deals. Obviously with yo-yos, it's just a lot of fun things about it.
Another thing I wanted to ask, just kind of related to the channel, but you also have a SoundCloud, right?
Yes.
And, I really enjoy the music that you make.
Thank you. I was actually surprised you were gonna say that.
No, like I make my own music for my videos, and I kind of got that from watching yours. Like when I first heard your videos, I was like, "That's awesome." I wonder, is that just like the music that YouTube lets you put up? And I'm like, looked into it more, and I was like, "Well, no, he makes his own." That made me want to go make my own.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, like, do you have a background in music, or like what made you want to get into that kind of stuff?
I started making music in 6th grade. I started with GarageBand for the iPod Touch 2. It was like really bad. Like I think I still have my very first song on there. But since then, like my dad actually did the same thing I did when he was my age. He made music. I think he was actually a DJ for a time. He's not anymore. He's just a chemistry teacher. But that kind of inspired me. And also I just I listen to music, and I just I always think what would be how I can make that better or make it sound more appealing to me. So that's kind of what I'm doing when I make music. I'm just making what my ideal song would be. And the other thing is too, I didn't start getting actual equipment and software until recently. So that's what I always say to people is you don't really need crazy expensive software and MIDI controllers and adapters to create good music, because I've been doing it for a while. Some of my old songs are some of my favorite songs. Some of my new songs are one of my favorites, but I've just been recently getting into it much more. I've been right before we started this, actually I was on Ableton, which is a software I use, and I was just experimenting with what I could make. It's just a really fun creative outlet for me, as well as yo-yoing. It's just an awesome thing.
What kind of music do you enjoy? Do you enjoy the more acoustic stuff, or do you prefer digital, beat driven?
I go through phases of liking each. Sometimes I will go through a phase of liking I went through a One Republic phase. I went through a U2 phase, and that was back in the day. But I go through phases of I like a lot of types of music. It's mostly nowadays it's electronic. but sometimes I'll branch out into that. Like right now, I think what I'm focusing on is kind of I don't really know how to describe the genre, like the kind of music I'm making. It's like it's kind of like a trance, kind of like EDM, but not. It's like a chill wave type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, your stuff tends to usually have a more deliberate the pace is more like slowed down, right? It's not like
Mhm. Yeah.
like not strictly dance, but it's got like a very heavy beat to it, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I really like.
I enjoy that. Yeah. Shall we go ahead and get into our Instagram questions here?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. I've got a few of the ones I really liked here. I think it's Drew Busquem one says fave yo-yo.
All right. Of all time, I'd have to say the One Drop Rebirth. I really like it's just like how it feels when I'm playing it. It's like not the most ideal shape for me. I like H-shaped undercut yo-yos the most, but the Rebirth has like an amazing play to it. But like like right now, I wouldn't say it's my favorite because I go through phases. I think most yo-yoers do go through phases of liking different types of yo-yos.
Mm.
Like sometimes I like organic yo-yos that take you slow, and then other times you want to play like a turning point bimetal. Then you want to go to like a yo-yo factory and play stuff like that. Like I go through phases of liking different yo-yos, but of all time, it's probably the Rebirth, just because I always go back to that whenever I'm kind of bored. That's the yo-yo I always take around me when I'm going out of the house if I'm gonna go do something.
Paul Takes Chances asks favorite hot sauce for yo-yo reviews.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The hot sauce. I actually, this is kind of thing, I can't really do that anymore because when I had I don't know if you saw it, but it was in the Terrarian review.
Mhm.
I did the hot sauce. It actually really affected me afterwards.
Ugh.
Like I was feeling very sick, and I almost threw up like a few times, but like I decided after that I needed to not do that because it also actually it burned my mouth
Right.
and I couldn't taste for a day.
Jeez.
And I also decided, like, since I'm still young and going off to college in the next few years, I don't really want, like, I like that. I think it's funny, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't really, like, if a person looked up on my college resume and then saw something like that, they'd probably question me a little bit. So that's why I don't really, like, want it. I like it. I would do it, but I actually do have a video that's unlisted, privated right now on my YouTube channel of me having like an even spicier thing. It's not a yo-yo review. It's just a straight up like food eating challenge
Mhm.
of like this like ham sandwich I made with like 5 different types of hot sauces I've accumulated over the years. It's I could probably send you a link and then you could put it in the description. I know people will be able to watch it if they want. But I just didn't put that up because I just didn't think that really fit into my channel. It was kind of like, it was just really weird.
Mhm. Yeah, that video, that hot sauce, the yo-yo review is it's one of those things where you first watch it, when you're watching it, you're thinking like, oh, like it can't be real, and then the longer it
Yeah.
goes on, you're like, oh, things are falling apart right now.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be like an EMT kicking the door down in a second? Like, all right, well, take care of yourself in the future there.
Yeah.
So next one is from I think it's Hot on Jared, who says favorite Death Grips. I'm sorry, yeah, Death Grips song.
Let's see. I've listened to Death Grips for a very long time. I have to say it's Get Got by Death Grips. I haven't listened to them in a very long time. But I actually know that guy who commented on it. He knows I listen to Death Grips. I haven't done it in a very long time, but it's
What kind of group is that? I haven't actually heard it.
they're like an experimental rap group. They make pretty weird songs. Some of them are like normal, and then the other ones you question like what they are.
Mm,
Yeah, but they're very cool.
yeah, I'll have to check them out. Jake Levitt, who asks,
Uh-huh.
what keeps you yo-yoing after all these years? What's your motivation, and how do you not lose interest?
Well, I think the main thing that keeps me going is just the like the one of the big parts is actually watching other people do it and getting inspired by tricks and other things like how people are involved with the community. Like my favorite yo-yoer based on his tricks is 2013 world champion Janos Karas. He's my favorite style. That's I try to do tricks based off him, but his style's like impossible to replicate. But I really like his stuff, and like the thing that just motivates me is that it's just yo-yoing. It's like common but unpopular enough so that people won't, like, normal, like, people from a general population won't understand you, but there's a big enough population to that where you could once in a while run into another yo-yoer and then have a nice moment together. There's just a thing about it that it's just different. Like in my school, people know me for yo-yoing pretty much. It's an awesome thing to keep doing, pretty much because it's different, and it's just something I love doing, and I've been doing since 4th grade. It's just because it's very different from, like, most things. Like it's a very exclusive thing. There's not really a lot of similar other hobbies to it, like, because you can't really make comparisons to it, because yo-yoing is yo-yoing. There's not really, you can't, like, compare it to like skateboarding. I guess you kind of could with some of the, like, the contests. I don't know. I don't really know a lot about skateboarding, but yeah, it's just a unique thing that I really enjoy doing, because it's like one of the things I'm naturally good at, and it's just something that really just helped me through my life, half of it.
Yeah, there's something, I think you really hit it, like the difference in it. It's kind of like you have the advantage of it's something that you get to do with your hands, and it keeps you busy, and it's creative, but it's something that everyone else recognizes. Like, even if they don't know exactly what you're doing, they're like, well, that's a thing on a string, so I know it's a yo-yo.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of cool, like, you have that specialized nature of it, but it's also recognizable.
Yeah.
There's a couple of questions I had that I wanted to get that kind of go off of that, if it's all right.
All right.
First thing you mentioned is earlier you said you're 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding many of the guests I'm talking to are around your age. I've only had a couple guests so far who are closer to my own age. So why do you think there's so many younger people in the yo-yo scene now? Or, you know, what is it, the trend, or?
I think the yo-yoing community is extremely diverse, in my opinion. Like, I feel like you'd find equal groups of different, like, I think the general range of age for yo-yoing is, like, probably 10 to 25. Like, that would be, like, what you would probably see, and, like, if you ran into someone. But, like, of course, there are people, like, outliers that are, like, maybe, like, there's, like, I forgot his name, but there's the Yo-Yo Baby that I saw the AP video. I think he's, like, I don't remember, but, and then you got people that are in their 30s, like, who I call ambassadors, because they've just been around it. They've been around the block for a long time. And then some new ones. Like, it's a very diverse thing. But I feel like the public face of yo-yoing are 16-year-olds, or just, like, teenagers in general, because those are ones that maybe want to put themselves out there the most, because like, they're at that prime age where they want to express themselves and, like, get known or something.
And then I had one last question here from myself.
All right.
I ask a lot of the guests this, just not to get negativity, but because I'm curious about, you know, what people want to see happen in the scene.
All right.
What were some trends in yo-yos these days that you wish would change, or that you wish would cease?
I'd have to say, it's probably gonna sound controversial to you, but finger spins. Sure. I really like finger spins. That's just, I'll put that out there. I enjoy finger spins a lot, but I feel like yo-yo companies nowadays are just slapping finger spins on their yo-yos just to make a sell point and not improve the performance of the yo-yo. Because, like, I don't care if a yo-yo finger spins or not. I'm not really crazy into finger spins. I can do them just fine, but I'm not really, like, I'm not going to look at a yo-yo, and if it doesn't have a finger spin, not going to get it. But it's just kind of getting a little, like, iffy when like, every yo-yo company, they always have to include finger spins on their yo-yos. Because, like, that was the thing with finger spins before, like, with the Horizon. That's why that yo-yo was so, like, revolutionary at the time, because it was its own, like, really unique thing that you could, like, do finger spins. That used to be, like, one of the only finger spin yo-yos there were. But now you could, like, get up a whole, like 100 yo-yo collection of finger spin yo-yos. And it also people like I think I actually made this point in my latest video. I don't know why, but I kind of like it when finger spin yo-yos actually like make it a challenge to land finger spins.
Mm.
Like have you work up to it, like practice it to make you better.
Mm.
But yeah, I do like finger spins. I'm not saying I would want them to cease or slow down at all. I'm just saying I just don't really like. It's just kind of iffy when yo-yo companies just slap a finger spin on any yo-yo, because that just makes them seem kind of like they don't have a lot of confidence in what they're creating, and that their design they think that their design may not be good enough, so they'll just put that on so they can get more marketing. Because I've seen a bunch of yo-yos that are like finger spin capable, that if they took out the finger spin, I feel like they'd be better.
Mm.
They'd have more like characteristics.
Mm. And then on the other side of that, the positive side, what's a trend that you're really liking right now and you want to continue or to grow?
I love bimetal yo-yos. That's like, because right now I don't have a lot of bimetals, but it's just super cool how they're incorporating like advanced physics to put in to their yo-yos, and how they're like expanding ideas, and like because like 10 years ago, I don't think this would be like bimetal would never be a thing. No one would have thought that. Like they know about physics and stuff, but they would never think like on a yo-yo a ring on the outside that's either heavier weight or more dense than the thing on the inside would help the performance. But it's just an incredible thing. It's like that's like really like what I like the most creative part of yo-yo design, I think, nowadays, is how people incorporate bimetal designs, and like there's even like tri-metal designs, I think. And it's just a super cool thing that I want to keep seeing getting revolutionized. But there's one thing. Here's another controversial thing. I don't like. I don't like when yo-yos, like yo-yo companies, make bimetals just for the sake of being bimetals for marketing, not for actually trying to make a good performing yo-yo. But that's not really that common. I haven't seen that. I've only seen that with like one or two yo-yos. But yeah, that's my favorite part about yo-yoing nowadays, is like you can create a yo-yo that's super stable and super long spinning, but is like really light and fast. That's just my favorite part about it right now.
Well, that's all I have here for my questions, and thank you very much for making the time to join us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really awesome.
Is there anything you want to put into the listeners' brains before we head on out of here?
Can I give a little shout-outs?
Of course.
All right. I will shout out the Lost Boys Yo-Yo Club. That's actually the club that is getting started in Northern Nevada. And I'll just say shout out to Jared and Jake. That's it. That's pretty much it.
All right, cool. And everybody, please go check out Carl's channels, both on Instagram and then on YouTube as well, which is just Caralisc, right?
Yep.
And that's Caralisc.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, check them out. They're quite interesting, quite unique. The video that you made that stands out in my mind most is the one where you're yo-yoing with the mountains in the background, and then there's someone doing some very interesting movements.
Yeah, I think that's one of my most like beautifully shot videos too. That's one of my doing.
It's very, very special. It has a special place in my heart. Thank you very much for joining us again today. And what I like to ask the guests before we head on out is if they'll sign us out with the do you know the TokYo-Yo catchphrase? It's sayonara.
All right, sayonara.
Thank you so much.